Hallelujah. 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 Yes, so we're here on another beautiful night on the IFA Orisha way of life. Shaka.
Peace, love, and blessings to all of Trinidad and Tobago. We greet you in the name of Olodumare, our Ori, our ancestors, Orisha. And we say welcome, we say ekabo to all of Trinidad and Tobago. We thank the Oris of everyone who have chosen this time and space to tune in to the Orisha way of life. The Orisha way of life is geared to ensure that we fully understand what our ancestors practiced and to debunk all negative notions that exist around, our practice. So we say peace and love. Ekabo, welcome.
So Shaka, it was a long weekend,
Long weekend
it was a real long long weekend. So we are here once again.
Real.
On the IFA Orisha Way of Life on the street 919 FM. This show is geared towards teaching members of the community, those who are looking on, about IFA and Orisha and the good practices. So I will start. May Yeshu continue opening the doorway for this program. May Yeshu continue carrying our prayers to Olodumare. May Yeshu may not make them check us
at all.
By no time. The divine messenger, we call upon you. We call upon you to take charge with this program here tonight. Baba Ogun, may you continue clearing the pathway for us. Continue clearing the pathway for this show to go from strength to strength. Continue giving us the knowledge, wisdom, and the understanding to find a rightful and truthful persons who can come here and educate. May Kabiyesi Shango continue giving us the justice that we are entitled to, that our voices and that members of the community may be able to understand, and let us get away this Westminster attitude about Ifa and Orisha and them wicked people and all these sorts of things. Mama Oshun, Mama Oshun continue blessing us with abundance and peace and blessings, and our lives moves just as the waters go down from the streams and the rivers into the sea. May Mama Oya continue blowing that breeze, that strong wind of success and change upon us. May we learn to adapt to change. So we are here. And I will always say this show, we are streaming live on the Shit 919 FM Facebook page. We are also streaming live on YouTube on IWER TV. I must thank Mr. IWER George and the staff of the Shit 919 FM for giving us the opportunity to keep this show here.
True.
Also, it is not cheap, it is not free to run this show here, so we call on people, ask them for sponsorship to keep this show running. We're not asking for $1 million, but drip by drip can get this bucket full that we may be able to keep this show, and the show is going good thus far. To all the sponsors that we have so far, thank you very much. I know no a sponsor just reached out to me and told me that they wouldn't be able to make this month. I could understand that.
Really?
I could understand that. So somebody might come on board tonight, somebody go hear the show and decide, well, to me say, King Shaka, I go put our money towards, Shaka slang, I go put our money.
Really?
And over the weekend, I listened to HSM Arorilla Fakayode. He had a live going on, and he's also the guest tonight. And he spoke about, come on, Dylan Duke, they call me Dylan Duke. He said to me, because most people know me as MC Duke, put our money to keep the show running so we can understand the truth about Ifa and Orisha, and it's not a separation, and it's not a schism thing, and it's not, because some people, because you get with them, Orisha, you can never be Orisha, you can be an Orisha devotee.
And our tradition is deep, seated and rooted in love.
Yes.
In love for our brothers, our sisters, regardless of creed, race, skin color, money, no money. Our tradition is about love, respect, humility, and all these nice and positive things, So that is who we are as devotees.
Yes.
So whatever we do, it is geared towards the nurturing in love.
So, Asheo. So we'll start with Iba. My reverence to God, He that spreads all over the universe.
Sure.
Reverence to the dawn of the day, reverence to the sunset. Reverence to Mother Earth, reverence to Unmilia, witness to creation. Reverence to the 200 Rumale on the right hand side of God.
Ashe.
Reverence to the 200 Rumale on the left hand side of
Ashe.
God. Reverence to the 400 Rumale, the ones that shuttle between heaven and earth.
Ashe.
Reverence to Akoda, the first IFA student.
Benny.
Reverence to Asida, Akoda's first student. Reverence to the mothers, the beautiful birds.
Benny.
Reverence to one's ancestors. Reverence to one's father. Reverence to one's mother. Reverence to one's Olo. Reverence to one's Ojobuna.
Benny.
Ashe, Ashe. May Orisha bless us all. The Ori self and the Ori, you know, in herself, the one that dances in front of the mat, be in total alignment. Let the bright light of Ijiogbe continue to illuminate our lives. Ashe. 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 Well, I see Shaka smiling because that means HSM Arula Fakayode. He is somewhere in front that I can't see him, you know. He's somewhere right there. Hovering, you know. He's here, so I'm going to welcome my guest. I'm going to welcome my guest, Baba. Baba, you can come in. Yes.
Ekabo.
Where's your guest? You sit. Let one of these.
Okay, and one could sit right here.
I win my bet, but I know which year he was coming. Yes. Shaka, you gotta come on this side. Shaka, you gotta come on this side. Yeah, you can sit down. Yeah, that's Shaka. So, folks, we're setting up everything here. By the time we're gonna play some music, come right back. We are back on the IFA Orisha way of life. As I said, we are streaming live on Shoot 919 FM Facebook page. We're streaming live on YouTube, IWER TV. We're also in Radio Land for those of you who are not close to an electronic device. You know, IFA way of life. My host King Shaka, my brother, always here supporting me. You know, we are here together with HSM Arula Fakayode and two very powerful, beautiful years in the community. I would not make Baba better than know which one is coming with. But I was shocked. I would have lost the second bet if I try to figure out who it was that was coming with. So I say, welcome. I know
thank you.
It's a holiday. I know you guys are mothers. See Baba playing with the dog just now on Facebook. You know? Yeah. He said no dog time, you know. He always having his time, you know. We must find that time and that balance to enjoy ourselves.
Sure.
And do what I got that time to rest, to relax myself today, which I don't get to do often because I have too much hat to throw all over the place. So thank you for coming, Baba. I know we have a lot to speak about. Baba is also one of the sponsors of the IFA Orisha way of life. He's always sponsoring him monetary, by words, by support, by anything you can think about it. He always supports the show.
Really?
Yeah. Thank you for coming again. Always, willing, never turning down that phone call or the opportunity to get some advice. Yeah. Thanks again. So, may we continue, Baba. I know the Shaka Festival, Ubaloaye Festival just finished. It was good. I had a grand time on Saturday. I felt very respected. And I told you that, Shaka. I felt very respected as a young one in the community with the respect that I got from you and members of your shrine. Right? I must say that on Sunday I had a good time. I just had to leave to come to do the reggae show here on Sunday that I could not have stayed, We meet up rain, we meet obstacles, but Orisha work must be done, and we just press and we just press. I went through a big, I say, actually the voyage that our ancestors went through to make things happen to us, the van going, so I said, Baba, you go ahead, and the van started to rock so hard. Trust me, when you look to the right, I'm a Carol swimming down, but we are here. The folks streaming, it didn't stop us. I've never been to that part of China. I never know central of the forest, Shaka, so it was a first for me, a nice housing development, and I know later down next 10, 15 years, you will have your shrine there, and there's a community, and we can all be happy and give praise to the Orisha. As you just say, the Orishas are always here, and we are always quick to call upon them. So why we don't pay respect to them and give them what is due to them? So, Baba, it is all yours. I have spoken enough.
I must say, I give thanks to Olodumare,
Ashe.
divine architect of our multiverse,
Ashe.
to Ori,
Ashe.
and to all the Orishas, our ancestors, for this divine opportunity where we can traverse in this material world, and knowing that it's not our home, but we just shopping. In our shopping, we shop respectfully, and so that our journey here will be a fruitful one until we decide to transition. Thanks for having us. Very, very much. It's not my first time here, and I must first apologize for not being able to come last week.
That's okay.
But there was so much happening, and after the festival, and the body and the tiredness, and it was a lot.
Really?
So we're here. My brother, Orisha, said that he wanted me to talk about Obaluaye.
Yes.
And but also to these divine young ladies with me, they also we're gonna have a discussion, a nice discussion.
10 o'clock.
Right, we're gonna have a nice discussion.
The show was extended by an hour.
All right.
Yes.
Right. So we have a lot to talk about. Whatever questions posed at me, I know I'll be grateful as well.
Really?
Obaluaye. A lot of people know this divine Orisha, this Irumale, as Shapana. But according to Yoruba tradition, it's a name that is seldom used because of the utmost respect we give to that divinity.
Facts.
So we would use the word or the name Obaluaye, as well as other names that will signify this Orisha. Obaluaye means leader or king of the world. Leader or king of the world. And the name says it all. He is much respected among Yoruba people, among our tradition, because it is believed, according to our tradition, that he is the Orisha that brings about pestilence depending on the purpose behind it. For example, if you are not respecting nature, or you are cheating, or you are lying, or you're doing things that are contrary to the Orisha, you are going to be paying the price. He's an Orisha, not like Ogun or Shango or all of these Orisha. He's one that will punish you severely with pestilence, such as smallpox, other mental illness, also to things like AIDS today. And he can also cure it. Obaluaye is a divinity that heals us and makes us well. And he's a divinity that deals with epidemics. Things like what is happening right now that a lot of people are scared about, Odisha, Obaluaye can heal it.
Sure.
He can heal it. Not only that, he is the Odisha of pestilence, but he is the Odisha together with Eshu, together with Oshun, together with Aje, that brought money, wealth into this world. So people might think Obaluaye is only for healing and only for pestilence and epidemics, but he's also an Odisha that deals with wealth. So you can call on this Odisha, you can petition Obaluaye for wealth. Obaluaye works together with Eshu. He works together with Eshu to bring about the right persecution for those who are not following the right path. For example, if someone is cheating, lying, and doing anything that is contrary to what they're supposed to do, Eshu comes about to ensure that they are persecuted. The right judgment is placed upon them, working with Obaluaye. And if you look at Obaluaye, you will see Obaluaye and Eshu looks very similar. Even their colors are very quite similar. Obaluaye color is red, white, and also black. That doesn't mean he cannot use other colors like purple. That doesn't mean he cannot use colors like blue, because he's a king, and colors like blue, purple signifies royalty. Hence, he is greeted as Kabiesi. So it's not only Shango that you will greet as Kabiesi, you will also greet Obaluaye, also his priest, as Kabiesi.
Okay.
Because it is representing who he is, a king, a royal father. In Trinidad and Tobago, Obaluaye, or Shapana as they will call him, is one of the only divinity that has a sweet name. Yes. When people could be outside the palace while feast going on, and when they start to say, Baba Lubida, everybody running from wherever it is, oh God, Shaki reach, Shaki, you know, because that was his sweet name, you know. I don't know. But every time you hear Shaki, boy, Shaki, you know, it was a sweet name for that divinity. And when you see Shapana dance, some of the elders says that he trade certain things with Shango for dance. So the way he would dance and the way he would move and his gesturements, and it was so divine. So people would leave where they are, but seeing him dance is very dreaded. It's very dreaded because I don't know if you all may have heard in a long time, they would say when Shapana manifests, Baluaye manifests, don't just go and touch him. Don't go and touch the medium while he's in manifestation. Because it is about that time where the Odisha himself is now dealing with the spirit world, with plagues and different stuff like that. So if you go and you touch the Odisha, something could happen to you. Whatever they are taking out could now go to you. And we have to be very careful in what wish you make during his presence. Because whatever you wish for, it is going to happen. So if you that is why it is a taboo to curse. When I say curse, say evil things in the presence of the Odisha. Even at a shrine, even in when he is in manifestation, even in his temple, You don't say, I want to curse Harry, or I want to curse Paul, or I want to say something bad to happen to Harry or Jay. It will sure happen. But this is where issue comes in. The repercussion of that act is going to be paid for. You don't swear and say, I swear by Obaluaye that I did not do this, and you do it. He's an Orisha. He will take you and still go back when you're crying for the corpse to take your rest of family. This is how, that is why the Obaluaye priest is very important in the community. And this is why Obaluaye festival is very important and is kept when the place is very hot in the dry season time or approaching the dry season time. Because it's around that time is where Obaluaye is fighting. It is during the time when the place is hot, when the atmosphere is heated or humid. Hence we call him Ibona. Ibona. Hot earth. And as well, there are other names to call him. Baba Ligbo. Baba Ligbo, father of the forest. You know? And that is one of the attributes of Obaluaye a lot of people is not aware of. They are more familiar with Babaluaye because Babaluaye is same as Obaluaye. But Babaluaye is like saying father of the world. Right? So we have Onita. Onita is father of or the owner of the third day. You know, or like for example, the third day of the week is very, very sacred to Baluaye. Then we have Olode. You know, then we have there's a lot of names, Omolu. A lot of names that we can use to describe this important divinity. His role is to bring healing using his medicine pot, as they would call it, Igbo. And this Igbo has medicine in it that can heal anything. But the good thing about this, and a lot of people may not know, is that you can't just go and take his sacred calabash and drink and say you're going to get healed. It don't work like that. It is so sacred that even in approaching it, it must be done with reverence.
Sure.
Even in opening it, it must be done because it is there in the compound to ward off negative, to ward off ajugums. Or elenini ode, elenini aye, elenini odun. Whether it's negative forces of the spirit world, negative forces of the earth, negative forces in human beings. So this medication was placed in the community to tell Obaluaye, please do not bring pestilence in this place. Don't allow this place to be attacked.
But I heard you say something in the festival, and I really seen it now in the sense of using the name Shakwana. You said that is mostly for the devotees. You know, his name is not supposed to be said like in the open Shakwana. You know, and that really stuck to me, you know. Ulubaye. Obaluaye, you know, is a tricky little tongue twister, you know. Tell it, you know, but I keep playing with it, but it isn't wise to be using Shaki. That's why you said the one Shaki come out.
Yes, so the elders know. So they never used to say Shakpana, they say Shaki boy. They drop it like that. You never question them. They knew how reverend this deity is. And in the days of old, he didn't have to You don't have to be initiated to Obaluaye to be a devotee of Obaluaye.
Guys, the next question has come as
You don't have to, because Obaluaye is all of our father.
Yes.
He is the king of the whole world. So in other words, just after Obatala, Obaluaye. Because they are very reverend divinity. That's what we call him, father of or what we say, father of experience, father of divine elder. You know, one who holds wisdom.
Because that's one of the main things I was asking, you know, you hear plenty of shown children, you know, just like Obatala, children, few, you know, was shown Shango, Ishu, Obaluaye, it few, because I wanted to try and understand what defies you, because even by you opening your shrine, how was the journey getting to that step, because you are in a multicultural environment, Shogunas. The MP and all said that. Who came there?
Yes.
You know? Shogunas is full of cross-dimensional. I will even say Port of Spain is not as dimension as Shogunas. Port of Spain, our Chinatown. You understand? But when you look at Shogunas, Yajé is also saying to Olokun children are few. You know, so we need to really understand, because when I got into this thing and I heard about Obaluaye, it was scary from what people had to say. Even in one of the feasts I went to, I was not allowed to make sure I was just Dylan Duke. Boy, Duke, come in now. Shakpana, thing go up into you. Come in the parley because you get a disease. I say, but I stand up there so long and get a disease yet when I don't get it, you know. We need, this is why the program is here to make, edify and educate people about the Orishas, what they stand for, what they mean, so we won't just run wild all over the place, you know.
And you see, in the days of old, you know, our elders used to classify that part of Obaluaye as Boziwo. Now you have to remember there were different tribes came here, and they were having the parley where they will sit down and they will describe and they will explain to each other the characteristics of their deities from their different towns where they came from. So when you look at the word Boziwo, it is not Yoruba, but Boziwo is like a Congo kind of influence. So Boziwo is a fighter. They say he who fights, the one who fights with arrows. And there is a characteristic of Obaluaye. Hence, in Obaluaye shrine, we have arrows, because the arrow signifies the venom or the sting of Obaluaye when provoked. So yes.
I know also in Yoruba tradition as well too, Obaluaye is also described as the great warrior as well.
Yes.
Because as you said, in a shrine,
yes,
it comprises of
yeah,
sometimes spear,
yeah,
arrows, cutlass as well.
Yes.
You know, these items, because from when you had started, you said that Obaluaye is also for protection. Protection and healing. And how does one can heal? One has to, you know, spiritually fight, you know, these pestilence and these negative things. So it's all in line with Obaluaye.
Yes.
That healing and that cleanliness and that notion outside that Obaluaye is the one who brings this. He says Obaluaye actually is the one who warns us about if we don't take certain measures, what would happen. And then after, when human beings fail to take heed, and the item happens, they blame the messenger who brought the message. And this is as serious thing.
Yes, yes.
Obaluwaye is the one who warns us.
Yes.
Protect the ozone layer. Stop burning certain things. Take care of yourselves. Practice safe hygiene and all of these things. And this is the Orisha
Yes.
who tells us.
Yeah.
And even so fast, the Orisha is also so merciful and not heartless. They still will come and give you medicine. So it shows that our tradition is not about mercilessness and mercenary treatment. It's about healing. So what you are saying is well in line with healing, you know.
And most importantly, you know, my brother, when you go to Babalao, this is how important Obaluwaye is. When you go to Babalao, when he consults Ifa, there are specific Orisha that he can go to and say if this unable to this sacrifice to this deity will be sufficient enough, besides Ebo, to ensure that this person problem is rectified. Obaluwaye is in that list. So after Ori, Eshu, Iyami, Obaluwaye. Because Obaluwaye is not only just the air or the earth. There's an aspect of Obaluwaye that is in the bottom of the earth, is deep in the earth, crust of the earth, in the ocean, deep down, that churns like that.
It's like they say Aganju is down there.
Yes. So when he's coming from the hot, that volcano coming up, that heat is also Obaluwaye.
So then one can also safe to say and liken that Obaluwaye is anywhere that has that healing element.
Yes.
And it also adds up, you know, because our healing could come from any part of the environment, you know. So
that's like King of the world.
King of the world.
King of
it's
the
safe
world.
to say that.
Each one of us is children.
Yeah.
Because the flesh, earth.
It's a fact. And as he's to that part coming up too, sometimes too our healing is it's in the clay.
Yeah.
It's in the clay because I've seen a lot of people now flocking to the mud folk, you know, and all of these things. These things detoxifies toxins that is within the skin and the body.
Just like ERG says here, Ganju, the cross of the center.
Yeah.
So healing
fire
is in nature, it's a fact.
Yeah.
that blazing, you know. Even at the festival, the Udo that came, and you said it is not just for the shrine, but it's for the healers, palace, whosoever, to really take heed. You know, I will just like you to elaborate on it.
Okay. The Odu that was cast for this year Obaluwaye is the same Odu that our temple has. Oshotura. It's my Odu as well. When I did it, Odu in Yoruba land. And we were told that it is through women being the antidote to our alien multiverse. And this was the message coming to us for this year's festival, that the way we treat women, the way we treat the feminine forces, the feminine energies, is how we are going to be blessed or cursed. It is very important for us to include women this year in everything that we are doing. Men, respect your women.
Facts.
If you don't respect them, you are going to be cursed.
Consequences.
Baba, repeat that, Baba.
If you don't respect them, you are going to be cursed. This is why the universe is how it is today. Because we neglect this very important energy. Women.
Allah Tumishe, you know, when Baba brought that message there, that alone says it all, because the World IFA reading last year when Ogbe Utura came up one of the essays that one of IFA that came up was that woman, the essence of the woman is needed to heal the world. So again, IFA spoke and IFA spoke through Oshe Otura, and it's on point with what had happened last year.
Yes.
So the ears now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But this is the moment where I'm going to leave
this
the ear, the left and the right.
And
you know.
you know. Let's
to
see what's happening.
But just before we go to our break, I must pay respects to the sponsors for making this show possible, because without the sponsors, Shaka will be home and I'll be home relaxing, you know.
For real.
And we will not be able to make this show a success. I spoke with her here after your festival the Monday. I think that's Baker's niece, Abdianai. You know, it have a reason why you attend feasts and these things, not just to run to see manifestation, but to learn, understand, and adapt and adjust and spread the word. You know, and I end up telling this year about it, and she said, I told me she'll call you back. You know what she want to do? Call she father. And she called me back, and what she father said, that Udu is so true. That you're shining.
Oshe Otura. Yeah.
Yes, and I told them about the elbow that you did, and he said, it is so real. It is so truth. He said, it can't come sweeter than that. That is facts.
And also to have an essay in that Udu that speaks about when ye are shown God back light
I will take calls from
into the world,
20 past 8. I will take calls from 20 past 8. This call I keep calling. I will take calls from 20 past 8. Go ahead, Shaka, sorry.
That was when that same Udu speaks about when ye are shown brought back light into the world after, you know, the men failed to give homage and recognition to the feminine essence in the organization of this world. And that Udu again speaks about the lack of respect given to our divine mothers.
Yes.
You know, so Oshe Otura made this Udu manifest, and may this Udu as well take our prayers, our sacrifices to Oludumare. May we live to see the fruits of our labor.
Yes, and Baba, let me just stay. We'll take this one before we take a break. Ayoka curtain that some Ileye Moja up at Thomasine Street. I enjoyed the breakfast, the fundraiser that you guys had last week. Shaka Vex me saw that, but
And you even bring one.
I ate all. I went to work that morning, Shaka. Right? Ayoka curtain is saying, what is the connection between Shango and Ubaluaye? Is there an Udu that speaks their connection? Greetings to all.
Obaluaye, Shango, Obatala, Yemoja, Oshun, all of these Orishas were given responsibilities by Olodumare to come into this material world to make it habitable for human beings' existence.
Facts.
Obaluaye is an Irunmale. And when he came with this divine mission from Olodumare, he came with this divine mission from Olodumare, coming from the Odu, Ogundagbede, Ogundagbemi. And this is where his manifestation really birthed from, this Odu. There are also some Ifa verse in the Odu Oyeku Meji, that where Obaluaye was dealing on fighting with negative forces. So whenever a Babalawo, we will chant Oyeku Meji to ward off attacks. It is so important for us to use this Odu to, if we are making medication or if we are doing certain things, or we want to invoke Obaluaye, we use Ogundagbede. Right? And also too, there is closeness with Obaluaye and Shango in the Odu Ogundagbede. Yeah, and also too, as my brother Lyndon Davis says, they are great dancers. Yes, they are. You know, there's a story, and it's very interesting. There's a story when I always laugh when I say the story. When Obaluaye was on the material world, and they had like a together, like a festival. Shango was there, Oshun was, all of the Orishas was there, and they were feasting together. But Obaluaye had a kind of, what do you call these legs where someone cut off your leg and you yeah. So one of the legs were like amputated. It really had a deformity. And so he used to wear garbs, like, you know, like those Muslims wear those garbs. So it was very long to block that away, to hide that away. So while doing that festival, he was drinking a lot of palm wine. Obaluaye loves rum. According to our tradition, whenever you are giving sacrifice to Obaluaye, he's the only Orisha. If you're drinking while you're doing the sacrifice, you cannot stop. Drink. You cannot stop consume the alcohol or the gin or whatever until the sacrifice is completed.
And that in itself also too is a lesson of being disciplined.
Disciplined.
Yeah.
You know? So when he there and he drinking the palm wine, so he get giddy headed and everyone say, come on dance, we know you can dance. And he refused because he know he didn't want to embarrass himself by staggering. And because of that, they pulled him up and tried to jostle him, and he fell and the leg was shown. And according to that story, he was so in fury that he cursed them. He placed a curse on them. The curse was so dread that the whole community was cursed with plagues, with pox. And they went to beg Obaluaye, and Obaluaye had to be called by the hierarchy in front of Olodumare and state the case as to why he did this. And Obaluaye says, they did this to me, and this is why I say. And they had to make sacrifice and different things like that, and you know, and that is how, you know, he's so respected.
So folks, we're gonna pay some bills, you know, come right back at you here on the IFA Orisha Way of Life, Shoot 919 FM. My guest tonight, HSM Arola Fakayode, and his two beautiful ears. I don't want to call the wrong name, so I was gonna say two beautiful ears of the
Omi and
Omi. She could talk, watch that. For the festival I watch, she get on and no woman. Every time you talk about she, you know? I share to that.
The IFA Orisha School of Enlightenment is here and ready to welcome all children ages 2.5 to 5.5 years old to learn in a unique and exciting environment. Who are the Yoruba people? Where was the Mali Empire? Who is Gangang Sarah? What is IFA Orisha? Your child will learn the answers to all of these questions and more. Our Ministry of Education approved curriculum includes storytelling, drumming, drama, music, dance, and other exciting teaching tools. We offer learning in a caring, safe space as we instill positive values. For more information and to register your child, like us on Facebook or call us at 366-7558. The IFA Orisha School of Enlightenment, a preschool that will transform your child.
The IFA Orisha Way of Life is kindly sponsored by Omo Inu, All Things Woman. Their contact number is 365-4332. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. They are the Women's Haven distributor for Trinidad and Tobago. We also have the Lock Duck. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Their contact number is 352-5706. We are also sponsored by Bridal Bouquet TT. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Their contact number is 491-7539. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Thank you.
Sponsors for the Orisha Way of Life. Nice Nuts Quinlan brand bottled coconut water for the freshest and the most purest coconut water. Their contact numbers are 716-6396. Kamara's Culture Store, the #1 important supplier of genuine products from Africa, located at Adams Bazaar, Main Road, Shoguanas, 672-8438, 320-8866. Gossip Gel Polish, 382-7587. Pedi Barisi, 398-4474. Temple Ojuba Orisha, Umelu, Egypt Village, Shoguanas. Banjela Music Productions. Nubian Experience, clothing that tells part of our rich African history. Number 6 Woodford Street, Arima. Contact number 688-1979. Oriomi, Nicole Huggins, Health and Wealth Lifestyle. Number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Onyx Trading, Wholesale and Retail Minimart. Number 1 Cemetery Street, Dego Martin. Lifestyle. Number 70 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Onyx Trading, Wholesale.
quiz.
Yes. So yes.
They call Debs.
So we are back on the IFA Orisha way of life on the Street 919 FM. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also streaming live on YouTube, IWER TV. You know, we just paid bills here to the sponsors who have effortlessly continued sponsoring us because it's not cheap, it's not free. We just don't come here and sit down because to do everything here it costs money, right? So we're going right back. So all in a scene, me if I tell you, that is to show that I just do that for to make sure they're paying attention. You understand? I just do that to make sure all they're paying attention. If I tell you, let me he's on. Let me just shout out some of the people and them on Facebook. Yeah, you're good with the coolness, right? Tell me now, if it's too cold, tell me. Raquel Chambers, she's on also. Shaman Taylor always on. Lyndon David is on. Edward Dean Garcia is on. And Zingarid always on. Trevor Tyson, Keon Jordan, Ayuka Curtin, Yaja is also on, you know, Angie St. Paul, you know. And Jigo Bossmaid and Charlotte Chitty, you know, if I don't remember she, you know. So all the folks, I've not seen one person.
I just want to shout out Sheila from down south, down Tableland side. I call it Pleasant Night.
Shamil Taylor is listening via radio. Ajibose Elobian from Gasparilla, I not seen her. I don't know if something wrong. But you know, it have people that you know who does be on the show right through that they can always remember. I'm not seen them, I'm not seen her. I hope all is well. Nayoka Charles, she's on. Chikele Maloney is on. I'm going to hand it over to the powerful ears and them, you know, who's going to take it away. Yeah, Omi, you know, very strong and powerful. You know? A continuation of the festival. Yes, yeah, it's all yours.
First, I'd like to say Abura Boya Boshishe to everyone on the live, you know, and I really have to say a special Abura Boshishe to my Oba, you know, because if it wasn't for him, I would not be here. You know, and my journey here came from actually Venezuela.
Okay.
You know, I was in Venezuela for 4 years. Yes, and I don't know, I just saw from one of my schoolmates, she say, hear what, in Venezuela I had a black cat only following me. So this black cat only following me now, and in Venezuela they had a lot of Mormons, and the community where I was around was only Mormons. So she carried me by this man, you know, I watch him, this trial black thing, so I was like, nah, that can't be a man. You know, that I'm being real, saying that cannot be a man. Because I having spiritual problems and you carry me by that. You know, I'm being real. I cannot say things behind people's back. So, no, I actually was in a relationship for 4 years with a guy. So I used to be in Venezuela. And he did not believe in the fact that I saying something is wrong spiritually. And I know again, our vibes. So I said, boy, Lee, he did. And I come back down to Trinidad and found this man. And I really want to thank him because if it wasn't for him, even me being here would not be here. You know, I don't even know where my journey would have carried me. So I have to thank you. Don't be full of yourself, eh? But I have to thank him for introducing me to the tradition. And that was like 2007, 2006, 2007. And my journey here, I was really shy. I used to pray and pray to Mama Eshu and Baba Oshun.
Yeah, she's a twist.
I used to twist everything, but it never made me stop pray. You know, I keep doing it and I giggle myself off because, you know, I say strippiness, you know, but I know if I don't say the strippiness, I wouldn't be corrected. So I didn't give up saying the nonsense. And in his shrine is where it opened me to reality, watching IFA as not just, people watch it as a religion, but is really a way of life. You know, and the journey with him, because I had to say with him, because I never give up on him. You know, he might have his ways. Everybody have their ways.
Say that again.
Everybody have their ways.
Serious?
No elder in this tradition is perfect. None. If anybody could tell me they're perfect, I would them come to me now and say, listen, I perfect. I a long time never used to put on a short pants and go and play juvie and wind down low. Show me her now. No, I'm being real. I'm very outspoken, and that's something I even thank him for, because he always motivated me to say what on your mind. Speak. Don't hold back.
No, if you come from,
You know what I mean?
from HSM or yeah, that had been better than you.
No, but that is it. Not everybody still have his streets, eh? No matter you have spiritual children, but not everybody will have that confidence, because I give me only human. Right? And you know, it's like coming out of the Christian belief. Because I went prep school, I went Holy Name, and I was Roman Catholic, I was Muslim, I born into Islam, yeah, because my legal name is Amina Muhammad. So I was born into Islam. Yeah, and with that now, I want to really say the reason I came out of Islam and would not go back is because I said, this faith, I would not be behind a man. Because in Islam, a woman should pray behind her husband.
Facts.
And honestly, some people in the tradition really upset my spirit with the fact of not including women. And that is why I was so happy for festival when Baba was talking about Usher to run, you must include a woman. I was like, yeah, because I have watched a lot of, this is why I don't like social media. People who know me, I don't like to watch lives and things because I get upset. I watch only the men. Only men. So all it was balance. It don't need a woman to at least balance the prayers. No, let be real. It have women doing initiations.
And divination.
It have women doing divinations. So why everything is, you have to go to a babalawo, he alone can do all do. That upset my spirit. Because we as women are just as equal. Babalawo, Ianifa. Babalorisha, Ialorisha. So what is the difference? Why are we always kept behind? And I said, listen, I came out of Islam, and I don't want this tradition to look just like Islam, because sometimes it looks this way. And again, I'm just happy Usher Tura came, and I find that it should not just be for this year, that we just include women. We should include women all the time.
We need women.
Right?
And touch a spot on Shaka.
This kind of thing does always touch a spot, because remember the chauvinistic world, the Western influence have orchestrated things in a way that the masculine principle is always seen as the head of every single thing. But no man born to a woman cannot say that the role of a woman should be placed at the back. No man who has an umbilical cord that came from a woman could ever say that the role of a woman is at the back.
Is it true?
It's the ori of our mother or mothers that we must propitiate at all times for us to see our blessings. It's a fact. Even at the point of initiation, if your mother does not bless you, she may not be there physically, but because you have treated her well and have given her that respect, her ori will automatically bless you.
Correct.
So it's a fact.
Correct.
The role of women, I am happy that this discussion is taking this course, because it only takes a stable-minded man to acknowledge
the role of women. It's only an insecure male would say that the man have to be, you know, the everything. Now the man, we have our role. It's a fact. The men have their role, the women have their role. But give respect where respect is due. And when you give respect where respect is due, the Orisha, the ancestors will bless us. And that's it. Give respect where it's due. When it's good, we must put our heads on the mat and say, yes, it is good.
It is good.
It is good.
Correct.
Asheo.
Right, so I don't want to take over the whole show.
No, you are your time, man. You have a whole half an hour.
Okay, right, and honestly, again, I compliment my Baba because he opened a lot of eyes, you know, and Obaluaye Festival, honestly, for me, every year, it has be such a turmoil, and this year was a test. It was a test, and it's just like what you said. It's like back in the days where we was to go through all kind of tunnels and all kind of drama just to reach to this festival, especially in the forest. And again, I don't like Baba Boomsy, right? But I had to say, hats off for not giving up. You know, because he could have said, boy, I'm not keeping this again. It's had too much rain. And I don't believe what you doing, man? What you doing, man? You know, and he didn't say that. He was like, go through, and he was like,
that's the balance.
And that is it. And it was really a great festival. And you know, I wish that everybody could support everybody festival, because as much as we have Obaluaye Festival, we have Oshun, we have Yamonja, you know, Obatala. I just wanted to hear him say IFA Orisha. I swear, I said it just for you to say IFA Orisha. You know, and I want us to stop being segregated in this tradition. Let's start doing something where, all right, Mama here does do something on that date. Why all of us can come together and get a calendar or something? Because I observe even in Nigeria, all of us are Oshun priestess or even your monja. All of us were sitting on casino.
Yeah.
But why in Trinidad? Oh, she's a bigger Yamanja. Oh no, she's a bigger Oshun. Oh, that's the head. Oh. Why all of us? Because at the end of the day, all of us are Olorishas. So as much as you might know a verse, you might know a next verse, and I might know a next verse, and combine together, be correct. Because even if it is when I observe Babalawos from back in the days, pick up one book, look for Udu, pick up a next book, look for Udu, pick up this next book, then they will call, I got an Udu, I got Ejiogbe. What you can tell me on Ejiogbe on your side? What I'm trying to say is, one book alone don't give that knowledge. So how come one person alone could give that knowledge? And our elders, I find, this is something I've been observing, that you're having a festival, you're having an activity. I know Baba doing this for 25 years. Why I can't put my tail between my leg and call for a little advice? You know? Why?
On saying that, we have to always be reminded that our tradition, IFA Orisha, is never about individualism, you know.
It is not.
It's about community. It's a fact. It's about community. So even though there may be Oshun or Shapana, or we have chosen from Orun to be at this on this earth, at this space and time, to carry out the divine Ayamo that was given to us by Olodumare to carry out the work of the Orisha. So it could never be about what I do. It's about what we do.
I just want to say, about IFA Orisha K. Fraser and her husband. I went to their space. Shaka was there also. What did I was doing? When the holiday so close. When the holiday so close, I just forget the days.
Baptist Liberation.
Baptist Liberation Day. I got an invitation and I went. I had a wonderful time. I understood. I gained knowledge. I ate and I drink and I went home safe. IFA Orisha, thank you for the invitation and may your shine and your space continue to grow. I did. May your, I saw a pole with some hands and we go talk about that one. Like we call the real traditional on that end of the country, right? So thanks very much for the invitation and the time. I must pay respect to you for that, So
yes, mother. And yes, power to us women.
Yeah.
And she is a nice woman because I met her when Baba carried us down there, and she is really genuinely a kind person as well too.
And what I watch, I seen Baba Simon and them, people moving. I even devotee some Diego Martin was down there. Why we can't respect one another? Why we can't have a change, Baba?
No.
Why we can't shut there, Baba?
The change coming.
We coming to that,
The change is coming.
Change is now. And I just, on that topic, I just want to share to the public because, when she was listening to this song, it haunted my spirit to already say the dream that I had. Respect to the night where I dreamt the late IFA Orisha Melvina Rodney. The day after my festival, knowing that during my festival, when we cast, the ancestors bring the message. The ancestors spoke through the divination. So I know they played a very important part in our festival this year. And also right after the festival, I also dreamt Baba Shaka from down in south.
Okay.
What's his name? Baba Ishishegun. He also brought a bag for me with some things, and I was telling with some stuff, and he was telling me, make sacrifice to the ancestors, they will approve everything. Everything will be okay, will be blessed. But the dream that taunted me a lot, even now, after the festival, I dreamt I was in this hole, and I couldn't get out. It was so dark, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to die. This is it here. And I started saying, Olodumare, if this is, and in my mind I was like, don't let no saint or nothing come to receive me, Make sure Ogun Shango, Batala, they come to receive me. Me and saint or nobody else. So let me and you go have a little problem here tonight. And I'm not afraid when that time comes. I'm prepared, right? And in that moment, I started to feel a little scared because it was actually feeling as though I'm not coming out of this hole. And then I say, you know what? What is to be will be. And a hand from nowhere just come down. And I would not forget that moment. I'm seeing it now, where I look up. And when I look up, I saw Melvina Rodney. I'm feeling so emotional. And she hold my hand and she said, don't fear. I am with you. She said, you move, because I was saying to myself, I'm not going to step to the forefront again because I did all that I had to do. And they get in this Orisha faith is bad name, who say this, they say that, whatever. And I say, you know what, I'm not going to. And then she decided to tell me in this dream, I am with you. And the time for change is now. Now, go out there and you have me on your side. And I got the strength. And she disappeared, and I was out of this hole. Hence, I am now having a platform now, which both here and other persons is on this platform. We call the platform Changes Now. And if we want to see the change in our community, it has to full start with us.
True.
Right? And I just want to share something with the public. When I said on Facebook, when it is an I thing, we inherit nothing.
It's a fact.
When it is a we thing, then and only then we see victory become developed and leave behind, when we transitioned, a great legacy for our people. Changes now.
Facts. That is facts.
Also,
IFA is not about individualism.
I'd like to give some information on the passing of Ishubaye Olokorede daughters. We are Bemi Unafukan last week. Ishubaye, she's from Yami Egbe Imo Shrine.
Her daughter died?
Yes, her daughter passed away last week.
Wow.
You know, so may she have that smooth transition in the ancestral realm. Maybe Olodomari come for the family at this time.
I just want to answer. I see Yoka said something.
Have a call here coming in for you, Baba. Abora boy, Aboshishi. Yes, caller.
Greetings and love.
Greetings.
Of thanks and praises to the Most High.
Give thanks.
You know, the program is such a healthy spiritual flow, you know, it carry us forward, you know. The days,
Real.
the money, you know. And this man like John Jaja, and all his brethren and them. It used to be nice seeing the Shango. Seeing them dancing in the cutlass and all kind of thing. Shaka and man talking about the Shaka. The love, you know. And like Snake John and all them brethren and them. It was love. You had spirit feeling of man really culturalized within that time. And get healing and get spirit and get being. It was love. And the system just changed. Everything just went haywire. But love still here, enough brethren still here, enough go on by the river, their love.
Love.
You know, I shape their love. Right there.
His blessings, my brother. You know?
Thank you.
He's always locked on. Yeah. So, Baba.
So I wanted to answer Yoka question. I think she says something that she would not agree with, but I just want to clarify it so to make sure that she understands clearly what was said. Scroll up.
Yes,
Right. She said that she don't know of that kind of discrepancy taking place among our women priestess. I cannot agree. No, not because you don't hear about it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And this is the thing happening in our tradition. When you speak it, people tend to now hate you for saying the truth. And I will tell you flat out. I remembered I was rallying for peace among the Orisha community. And I said, let's put aside our problems just for the sake of our beloved tradition. Let us tolerate each other just for our next generation. Would you all come with me? And I hear, nah, he's a so-and-so. You don't want to tell you that. And I had a good thing going. People all over Trinidad and Tobago. I was also on television speaking about coming together. And the same method and the same thing that I preached and asked people to do at that time by divine inspiration and was neglected is the same thing they're trying to do now. And they include me. No, I want to say this. I have always been the one to say, if I'm going to consult on something of our country, I would call Babalawos, priests from all over Trinidad and ask them, come let us do it together.
He does.
And you know what they will say? They have no time.
True. He does.
When Orishas in this country could not use Oshun, because there are plenty Orisha workers, I have to say it, but there are not much Orisha initiates. Now, you can be a spiritualist, an Orisha worker, and don't know how to consult, then you're not going to get that divine information from the Orisha because you will not initiate into the mystery of that Orisha. But you will get inspiration, you know. But when you become initiated, now it becomes something what we call a divine DNA. Now, become like, you know, the vaccine on the gave for COVID, and it going into your DNA and into your system and transmuting things. That is what happens when you become initiated. You reconnect something that was disconnected. Right? So even though you could be a spiritualist, there's nothing wrong in that. Now, if all Orishas sit down, and I'm challenging every Orishas in Trinidad and Tobago,
started something.
Every Orisha in Trinidad and Tobago, if there's Ogun, find your Ogun brother. If there's Shango, find every Shango, put up, because everybody's going to do a live, you know, and everybody's going to put up thing on Facebook. So put up on Facebook, I am an Orisha Shango, and I'm looking for all Shango devotees. And find all your Monja devotees. Find all Osun devotees. And you know what? Say, for the sake of what's happening in the world today, let us find a mutual ground and let us consult. You use your Aaron the Lagoon at home, pray to Osun. I will use mine at home, pray to Osun. We'll say the same date, the same time, and we'll consult. You get a message, you get a message, and we'll combine all these messages. I'm challenging. Because Iayoka say that she don't know about it. It's not, it don't happen. So I'm telling her it happens.
You know, as Baba is saying that as well too, that yes, there would be workers, but initiation is something that really, really, really is important.
Yes.
And I'm glad that he said it, because if you don't have your own personal blueprint, how you could have a blueprint for anything else?
Exactly.
You yourself must have your direction, and your direction, again, from Ogbe Utura says that every human being must be initiated into IFA to get the blueprint.
Exactly.
So once you know yourself, and in fact, our very existence on this earth here, the only well that we would really attain is being self-actualized, which is knowing ourselves. So once you know yourself, it is then easier to function with people. So if we don't have that self-knowledge first, it's only then we wouldn't have that link with others.
Exactly.
We need to know ourselves, and ourselves would come through initiation. So
yeah.
even though he's saying that there are plenty workers, please.
Yeah. If it's not a guesswork.
Work on getting initiated.
Exactly.
Look for a competent Yanifa,
Babalawo.
Yes.
you know, and get initiated. Initiation is a must in our lives.
No, well,
It's a must.
as some people, sorry to say this, this is something. No, you see, now I like to talk reality here, and people might not understand me, but I like facts. And I have heard people say, elders say, I don't need to initiate, all I get on the ground. Shango come and crown you on the ground where you're going by them people for to initiate. I am telling you, I don't want to call names on the live, but I've heard a very great elder said that. And he deterred a lot of young ones from being initiated.
Yes.
And it's something that our tradition, people see, Ifa is not Orisha. Ifa is Ifa, and I don't know what this Ifa thing is. Now, as I tell people, Ifa is your chart and your compass. Ifa is the word of Olodumare. I just say I is Ifa. Because, let me tell you why I say I just say I is Ifa. I follow my taboos every day. Every single day. Look, Uba is here. And when you start to live and follow your taboos, I'm not saying you don't have to go and consult on everything, you know, but something to start to talk to you. And you might talk to me, and you will feel the energy. Something start to tell you and how to guide this child. You understand what I'm saying? So grounding your Ori from going all over the place, wandering spiritually is something so important. Because if I did not crown my Ori, God alone knows where I would have been. And I want to just say this. I find your Monja is an energy that we don't really acknowledge.
Enough.
At a point in time, I hated Oshun. I would only talk truth. I could only speak truth. When Baba did the divination, it said, I am Oshun, by so much Oshun, your Monja, blah, 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 blah. So I work with it too. But what I say is, Yes, Oshun, without Oshun, we wouldn't have this, we wouldn't have that. But before it even had the earth, where was your Monja energy? Was it there or was it not there? If we know, I like to say this, forget Udus, not forget Udus in a disrespectful way, but let we start using something called we Ori and we common sense. Your Monja energy is just as strong as Oshun.
They are twin.
Right? And why, even when we go in a parley, we sing for your Monja, pay me, your Monja, yeah. Hooray, yeah, oh, Mama Oshun. Without you, Mama, ooh, the world, ooh, yes. I love Mama Oshun, but I think all the Orishas have their own functions. Mama Oya has her own function as well. So, just as Mama Oshun, I love you, Mama. You are, yes, who you are. But Mama Oya, Mama Yamonja, just the same. And have more Orishas that we can talk about, as even Osumare. It have a lot of Orishas that we don't hear about because all we focus on is what we know. Chongo, Kabiesu. Shongo. Exactly.
People don't like the narrow path.
No, you don't.
Only two places I can hear
So,
Pali sing about Obatala.
yes, you want to say something.
Of course. Well, it's very much in line to what you are saying because no Orisha is important without the other. All of them work together.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's just now for us as a people to read more, to learn more.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
the river goes many miles, but you have to be able to walk the distance to learn, and you would learn as you go along. Back in the day, we gave homage to our ancestors, were the ones who kept pouring libation and knocking Iggy and calling for their descendants to come to pick up where they have left off. And we are at this space and time here where we have learned things that some of our ancestors were forbidden to practice and even remember because of what they had went through chattel slavery. So now we are at a space and time where we are learning about Moja, learning about Olokun, learning about Oshun, learning
Olokun is so
about
important as well.
We are learning, and big respect to all the Ilays, the Pales, the temples that who are doing their jobs in teaching the people. Enough respect. No matter if you're from South, Erin, Point Fortin, San Fernando, Pinal, Moruga,
Anyway.
you know, East, Arima, Carnage,
Don't forget Tobago.
Togo, and even all
Don't
of the
forget them.
islands as well too. We give enough respect to all the temples, shrines and palaces that are keeping the tradition alive. And that is what will take us forward in learning. I share.
What at some of the comments on Facebook here? Ulakila Masatunje. Chief Oram Frey says Alafia Gogbowa. May we all continue to graduate
I say hello,
opportunity to live long
Yeah,
and
that to say
work together in collaboration as we claim our rightful heritage. Linda, I'm going to go on some of the comments here, moving quick. Lyndon David says, I believe women are for us to respect and treasure.
Facts, brother.
Saya, the artist, says, IFA is our way of life, our
Ifa Toba,
tradition.
It was me.
my boo-boo.
Nayoka Charles says, we need to teach people how to find yourself. Finding who I am is a task.
Once you get your
Orisha Lashe from Nubian Experience, one of the sponsors of the Orisha Way of Life, says, much ire to all. So,
Same to you.
Yeah, you continue. Saya says here, and it's time people respect people and the Orisha that's manifest on them, no matter who or what they may be.
It's a fact.
Yeah, and I understand as a young one growing up too, you know, is I've gone into parleys and see that I don't like you and you manifest a spirit and I walk out. Yeah.
They come off the drum.
And they come off the drum. I understand what he is saying with respecting. Yeah, they do this. And again, this is why I say our tradition could only change from here.
Change starts with me.
From here. Because it have a lot of people that I may not understand, so my energy may not connect with them. So we may have little, you know. But even if they manifest an energy, who am I to say this person don't have a spirit? You know? Sometimes even when divining and you ask if this is Mama Oshun, because we singing for Oshun, it might say no. But you already didn't tell it to ask if it's probably your monja. Or you understand what I'm saying. Because at this time, yes, we could be singing for Mama Oshun. But Olokun can't come. And next Orisha cannot come. So when we even divining, because it's something I saw even with Iya Ajay has said earlier up. A lot of people having all kind of thing, workers doing all kind of thing, but a lot of people cannot divine. They cannot divine. They cannot divine. And it's something again that bothers my spirit. Because again, find out, is this a genuine manifestation of Orisha? Yes or no? And then from there, you could probably go down now and start to say, if it's Oshun, if it's Olokun, if it's Yemonja, it's Shango, what it really is. You know, and it's something again because I saw even Gok, well, you know, I just call it Gok, Baba Gok, Lyndon. You know, where they talk about the young ears. People might be young, but that don't mean that they don't open their mind to learning. Because, Mama, you can now come in the tradition, and somebody in the tradition 20 years, but stay into their own belief and not open up their Ori.
Facts.
Could have more understanding than somebody who is 20 years in this tradition. And what I do as well with the Orishas, I don't watch them as just male or female. I watch them as the energies are there. You know, you watch Shango for the rain as well, you know, because everybody they say, oh, your shouldn't rain. Shango works. Correct, it's only now they're trying to learn that.
No, it's
but you watch them, you watch them for their energy. And when you start to watch Orisha for energies and watch even their devotees with the energies, we would really be a great force to reckon with in this world. Because again, Obatala, your energy, your Ori could do a lot. So now you know would have you might watch somebody get on a particular way where Obaluaye now go want to strike down the place, Shango want to push, bang, bang, bang. But Obatala will come in and go so smooth. And just know how to just make this transition work.
Wisdom.
Correct.
Wisdom and experience.
So let me start to stop watch each other as just the carnal-minded person.
Because somebody asked me once, this person even initiated the person. And I told me, you ever dream about Tala? No. I just dream about Tala and I ain't even initiated.
Wow.
And she, how you feeling? I am about to share the answer about myself. And she said, how you feeling? I said, good. Obatala is me. I am Obatala.
Share.
Share. Baba, you know 3 years after I dream in a place, green grass, and shell just coming out from the earth. And I just put it in my pocket. I say, okay, Baba, you know that I know you did.
Correct.
And that just reminds me clearly that people just have to see a manifestation on a human being to know Let me tell you something. I have seen Oshun made an appearance in Obalue Festival and it was not on a human being. For those who had the eyes, because I am very much clairvoyant as well. You know, according to when divination was done, even when I was in Yoruba land, I am Babalawo from Orun.
I saw you ask a question in the last festival there,
right?
And then you explain it to the people there why.
There are some Babalawos that don't need Opele to divine, you know. There's some things truthful Babalawos in Yoruba land will tell you. They are not all the time. There are different types of divination. Divination could come through your dreams. I remembered when I was in Yoruba land, I didn't even know the process that they were going to do. And I think it was on Maita. And while there, I am dreaming where an Udu falling from the sky. You seen it coming down from the sky, and it coming down like lightning, and it striking on top of the Oponifa. And I seen it making the sign. And I said, but what sign is this, boy? And when I think, I see Osher Tura. No, I did not know. No, I know the first time they cast as Osher Tura. Me and know what they're going to do again, not knowing and not realizing that they're going to cast it. I said to my Olowo, I said, Olowo, you believe in dreams? He said, yes. Dreams are very important. Yes. What did you dream? I say, Baba, I dreamt so. He said, okay, let's watch and see. Someone else was casting the divination for Maita. And my Olowo did not tell that person. He told other elders what I dreamt. And you know what came up? Usher Otura. My Olowo jump up. Hey! You are truly Babalawo from Orun.
He said that. Could you come and tell us that?
So I'm just telling you, some people they have the direct DNA.
That's a fact.
That's why I say I feel like
they have the direct DNA, and then we look into consideration. What about our ancestors that was sold by our own? I know people don't like to hear this, you know. People don't like to hear this. They always say the white man sells, we the white man. Yes, they were influential to what's the selling going on. But they couldn't just go into we place just so.
It's a fact.
They had to consult with we people.
It's a fact.
They had to get something into something and a something to enter into that something.
It's a fact.
It wasn't easy to get into that something. So you could imagine the something that the white man had to go and get before he could get that something. And he fooled them and say, we have pots, we have spoon, we have arrow, we have bow and we have gun, we have sulfur, we have bullets. Yeah, we could. If we take this gun, we could shoot this person faster. That bow and arrow arm is inferior. So you could imagine you get the height. So what if? And I always tell this, and I even tell my Olowo that. What if the real custodian of most of the thrones in Yoruba land was sold and traveled beyond the shores of the diaspora? I truly believe that there are some people in Trinidad and Tobago that has the power to heal. I have healed people in Nigeria who even Babalawos there could not have done it. And they find me. I'm telling you to tell you this. We have a divine energy here in this Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, we do.
Coming from us. And if we could only come together.
True.
You see that word?
Come together.
Come together.
I want to hear you.
Yes, we want to hear you.
So, I say kale to all, elabo ṣiṣẹ́. Epa omi o.
Orisha epa.
Epa omi o.
Orisha epa. Orisha epa.
So again, it is a wonderful privilege and an opportunity again, a second time, and I look forward to many more Baba to me share.
Yes.
And I have to thank Baba Awurala for inviting me, of course. It's kind of weird because when you hear conversations and as Yeye mentioned earlier about the different ways and different things that we as women have to do and how we contribute and all of these things. And we have ancestors who have worked in this vineyard. We have ancestors who have toiled in this vineyard. We have ancestors who have contributed to this tradition in Trinidad and Tobago, who have held a position in Trinidad and Tobago. It may not have been recognized publicly, but they have done the work.
So true.
Right? And I know a few because growing up, I was able to meet a few of them. I was privileged to meet IFA Orisha Melvina Rodney as a child before she passed away. And I met a couple others. I can't remember all their names, but I remember her being one, because I remember there was a festival that we had, which was a Oya Day, back in the 90s. And Ia Melvina was there. And again, you know, there are some things that you will have a memory as a child of and certain things like that. And she left a great impact, I must say. She left a great impact. So, and I speak to one of her granddaughters still, now and again. And, you know, we have a good conversation in between. So I was really happy for that. And some of the things that I shared with her, with her grandmother and everything. So she was really happy to know how, and she was, to know the impact as a child. So she can imagine how many adults, how many persons she would have had impact on positively too. For me personally, my role model, my mentor, my everything, my mother, Chief IFA Korede Oyayemi Aworani, Joan Lona Cyrus, the Alode Awagbaye. She was the spiritual head of the Canisaras Al Kibla Nile Juba, and I'm thankful that she's my mother. And I'm thankful that she raised me. She's the queen that raised the queen.
You're right.
So I must say, we have women in our society that makes and contributes and does the hard work, as I like to say, the backbone. I don't like to say the backbone only, you know.
This call, I keep calling.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Aborabo Shishe caller your life.
Hello. Aborabo Shishe. Yes, I keep calling.
Oh, God. Yes.
I heard something there that I would like to give a little insight into. Someone said that Africans sold Africans. Well, I think you should do your research more in depth, because as far as I know, that was first, how should I say, put into our minds through Hollywood. The Arabs who are then, because, I mean, just simply thinking, family is everything for African people. That is no joke. And I'm not talking about even now where Western things must have seeped in. Back then, you can well imagine. We are the people who told the world it takes a village to raise a child. Africans, it is not, you can't even comprehend somebody coming to you and tell me, sell me your child and are carrying him someplace. That is unheard of. The Arabs, however, who at then was about 7th generation in Africa, the Arabs started trading. And it's done today. Arabs still capture Africans and put them into slavery. So I am pleading, get a little more insight and in depth. African people just didn't pick up the people and sell them to people. That is unheard of. The core, the belly of African people is family. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And don't forget, I have to see you.
Yes, yeah, that's from Bata. You always support.
Yeah, Lord.
Thank you very much.
I'll come check you. I'll come see you.
Take care.
Thank you.
I want to answer to that.
Yeah.
What I did say is that they were influenced by the white man to get into something, to let them know, hey, if you give me this, I will give you this. It is history. It is history. I read a book that my older gave me, and I saw that in the book as well. So, but people don't want to accept that. Africans sold some Africans, and not all of them did it. But people who hold a certain position were influenced. And that is what we have today. We have the house slave still mentality, some of us, you know. That those who were slave and they were birthed from and had a little high color. You can imagine, you know, they had a high color. So they used to look down at the black ones, the real sunburned ones in the fields. And today, we are like crab in a barrel. Some of our African people, we continue to be like crabs in a barrel. Even in our tradition, it's like we seem like we can't come together because there are still the house slave mentality in some of us.
I want to touch on this comment here before we lost it here, before we go back. Junior R. Rowling says, Alafia to all. What I was one told by an elder is that we master the spiritual aspects, and now we getting to learn more about the rituals from Yoruba land. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
We master the rituals in the past. That's what he's saying. That's what he just said.
What he is in there is that some of us, we master this
We had this spiritual
aspect,
part, and now we learn
to learn more about the rituals from Yoruba land.
More from there.
Well, how to put it? Somebody asked me the other day if our elders of old, if they never used to speak Yoruba, if they only used to do cattle. And I was like, yeah, they used to speak Yoruba. Mother Melvina Rodney, her shrine was not St. Michael or St. Jude shrine. Her shrine was IFA Orisha Ilewa.
That's Yoruba.
Baba Ford, the late Oloriawo of Trinidad and Tobago, he spoke Yoruba too. His shrine was named Opa Orisha Shango. Is that
that's Yoruba.
Now, before Baba go on, before I lose my trend of thought, according to Ogberete, IFA says that when we put down our tradition for that of others, it's when we put ourselves in a position to become enslaved.
Exactly.
So it's when we like and love the legacies of other people, it's when that portal to get enslavement happens. And also too, according to Ogunda Onwarin, that speaks about Isheshe, your father, your mother, your ancestors, those who move away from the legacies of your ancestors is the ones who would become enslaved. So it's like people now, if you are not following your tradition is your security, your tradition is your protection, your tradition is what would ensure that the proper rights upon your transition would allow you to travel safely to your ancestors. So when we're talking about enslavement, we really need to understand, are we truly following the legacies of what was set by our ancestors? And if we are loving the legacies of other people more than our own, think about what would happen.
Exactly.
It comes like a person leaving their house, leaving their wife and their children, and going into another community to like and honor what is being done in our next house and leaving their house open. What would happen? People will come in your house
and do your family all kinds of things. So it shows, even if I spoke here in Ogbe, Irete, we have to love and hold on to the proper legacies that were set by our ancestors. And this is not even something of now. This is from time gone by. Where people liken other people's legacy more than that of their own.
Oh, yes.
They want to jump and wear everybody else's clothes, and they don't want to wear the clothes that is designed and made by your ancestors. They want to go and buy all kind of cuisine or food, but you don't want to go and buy food that your ancestors made, that is well designed to nourish our bodies.
I don't like
We are not better than anyone else, but we are different, and we must embrace our uniqueness. Our uniqueness is what is the beauty of our existence. Let us not try to be like everyone else. And when we try to be like other groups of people, that is when we open up ourselves to be enslaved.
Exactly.
I want to also add to what you were saying as well about age. Because I too kind of experienced some of what age is all about, and age and a woman. That's the two things I've been told since now. And I'm young. I'm very young. I'm very young, and I plan to stay very young.
Yes,
too.
and fabulous.
And
Yes,
fabulous.
grew up nice.
Right?
Hey.
Keep the glow.
Yes.
Right? But also, it's always good when you hear about other person's experience, and it's good to learn from other person's experience as well. For me, luckily I was born into the tradition, because my mother was already, although she would have had an English name because that was what she had to go to school with and to keep up into society and whatever, to grow up in society with. But thankfully she made the change with me to make sure that I have an African name from birth. So my name, Omitosi, is on my birth certificate. Right? And from since then, growing up with my mother, there has never been anything about you're a Negro. You could never call yourself a Negro. You can never say you're no black and whatever. First of all, you're an African. You were born in Trinidad, yes, but your ancestry, where you came from, where you are now, and where you will be, is an African woman. And my mother instilled that. Never have I ever straightened my hair. I'm not criticizing anybody, first of all, but I'm just telling you this is my background.
You're embracing your uniqueness.
And this is who I am, and this is who, if I have daughters, I will be passing it on. Right? But, I would like to have a daughter, but,
may it happen.
but may happen. But the point is that my mother never made me have to question myself, embrace who you are. And I used to get teased about my name and religion and everything growing up. And my point is that we have to be proud of who we are, know where we came from, know where we are, and know where we have to be. Right? We are a strong people. We will always a strong people. Our history didn't start with slavery. Our history didn't end only with slavery. We continue to make history. Our children will be making history. And we are the ones who have to lay the foundation, because we are the ones who have to prepare the legacy, just as my mother prepared the legacy for me. Right? So we, as Babas keep saying, we have to unite. Unite. And it's so unfortunate that because people see you probably as a woman or as a young woman, my mother started off younger than me. Right? She started off much younger than me. And she came from the the spiritual home of Shepherd Isaac Lindsay, who many people know as...
Lyndon Goglia says, "No long I wanted to hear you speak young ear."
Right? Thank you so much. But we have so much to do. We have so much to contribute. And as women, we need to also not bash one another. As Yeye also said, even if it is we know about each other energy, at least be humble. Because the way how we treat each other is how we will treat Olodumare. Right? Because yes, we all have different parts, we all have different backgrounds, you have all the different destiny, but we have to treat Baba, we have to treat Yeye, we have to treat you, Baba, with respect. Just as how we're not paying homage to the physical being. When we greet the physical being, it is not the physical being. It is the Orisha, it is the Ori, it is the Egbe of that person. It is the ancestor of that person. So we have to keep respecting and keep in mind that it's not just a matter of the people's ancestors saying, you know, treat others how you want to be treated. Yes, you want to treat others how you want to be treated, but also, is that how you would treat Olodumare? When we treat other human beings with disrespect, we treat Olodumare with disrespect. When we treat nature with disrespect, we treat Olodumare with disrespect. So all the littering it have going on in the rivers, the ocean, the beaches, the landmass, everything, we treating Olodumare with disrespect. As simple as it may be. It may say, yes, somebody will clean up after that. But then that means you're disrespecting the person who, that is their job, yes, to clean up. But they ain't expecting to be cleaning up all the time like that. You're disrespecting that person too because you see that person probably as a lesser than. That's just my view. Right? But it is just a common sense. Yes, we can know about all the Odu. Yes, we can know about all these different things about the tradition. But please understand it comes with common sense. We have an Ori. We have an Ori that Olodumare, the Orisha, Egbe, all Orisha speak to us true. And how do we expect to treat each other when we're treating each other with bashing and chaos and strife and havoc and all these different things? So if it is you may not, as they say, you know, yeah, your blood may not take somebody, you may not know why, right? Because something might be off with somebody with that energy they may have. They might have a negative energy around that person, around their aura, that time or something. But approach the person with respect. Approach the person and try and understand what might be happening. That person might be having a bad day, that's all. You know? And you catch them at that time. Right? Yes, we have to stop that whole thing about, my shrine is this and my shrine is that and everything. No. If we understand our history, the reason why we have so many different shrines in Trinidad, we'll understand why we have so many different shrines in Trinidad. However, the fact is, right now, we have so many different shrines, but what are we all doing?
You have to do the work.
What are we all doing? Many of us are doing the work, and it may not be on social media. I could talk for myself and my area, right? Because we are doing the work from what my mother started and what I'm continuing with my elders and my members, and that's why I can say that. Right? Baba Awurela supports us from the time with my mother to now, and vice versa. We support Yaya Agbemola and vice versa. We support many others as well, and vice versa. It's not a matter of just segregation, because as my mom used to use a phrase, she said you cannot use a coquille flex to sweep a floor. You have to use the broom.
The whole broom.
The whole broom. Right? So if it is we come together, yes, we will have this disagreements. Yes, we will have misunderstandings. Yes, we will have to have conversations, dialogues, or whatever it may be. But come together. Come together. Yes. For me, I initiated into IFA, into Egbe, Emojan, Oshunde, my Orisha, hence the reason my name Omitosi. But So you see, so but also it doesn't change the fact that yes, I have to know about all Orisha and everything like that, because that is our Ile. We have all Orisha under our Ile, right? But it doesn't change the fact that I cannot work with Yeye, I cannot work with Baba, I cannot work with you, Baba, or anything like that. And we really have to come together. Baba's expression is what distracted me, but yeah. But you know, I really hope that people can understand that we are not here to just be at an age and whatever. I born into it, and it could have, my son could be the other person to take over, and I have to worry about it to my son. That is because he has chosen to do what he has to do, and I have to respect the energy in him, right? And it is not a matter of age or gender. Because I've been told, as a woman, boy, young one too, you know, some people, they don't understand destiny. Destiny. This is, if this is who we have to do, we are all not going to be a Babalo Orisha or Babalawo or Ianifa or anything like that. We all have a role.
It's a fact.
We all have a role, and once we continue to do our divination and find out exactly what we have to do, where we come, what we came to do, our Ori will lead us onto the path that we have to be. And if it is we just stop watching and other people play it, as my mother used to say, right? Look in your plate and understand what is your destiny, right? Because you could bring a different meal to the table, but it will be able to give somebody a whole meal. Right? Everybody have a contribution. Everybody have a role. Everybody have something to do in this path of life. Right? We just have to follow our own. Women, to me, we carry, I wouldn't want to say a burden, but we carry a lot. We carry from last name to child, to home, to cooking, to doing everything. We carry a lot. It is just a matter of balance. Men have their role, women have their role, but just don't say who's lesser than and who is who. That well, I grew up with my mother alone, single parent, a black woman, and it had nothing like that. My mother was taking everything head on, right? And that's just how I grew up, and I knew it to be. It never had anything about who is man, who is woman, who everybody have their role. Know your role, know your place, know your function, know what you came to do, know what you have to do, know what is your duty, and fulfill your duty. Your duty is to carry water for Baba, carry water for Baba,
and be the best at that.
Be the best at that.
Be the best at that.
Be the best at that. Your duty is to come here and ensure that here is set up, because Baba, nobody cannot just come and set up in this room just so. Everybody have a role. Everybody have a function, right? But we all make together a community.
Like I said to some people, on a Monday I used to come here and play R&B. And play dancehall and love this and love that. And I just sit down just for a day. And I click on music, and I click Oshima Flash Jai Orisha. I watch it. And I just touch it just a pop. And the response I get, I rock back so. I say, alright, this is another. And I went to my Ari. I say, Ari, X, Y, and Z, Orisha Lashe. I went to him. I say, I want to do this one. You remember the late great Erin Falami was once here. And I sit down and I talk to my Ari and I say, alright, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it was before the elections all, and I reached out to my good friend IFA Orisha, Sean Singh. That's the first guest I had here. We went to school together, and it started from there. And we just start going. So that is my destiny, that is my road. And then we have a platform now. We have a platform, my year Olori Abogboye Abaye from Nigeria. She's on right now. She just messaged me, right?
Kali, yeah.
And I said to myself, we need to build this. And I went up to the Yaumotayo shrine, and I always seen Shaka, he's full of vibes, full of energy. Call him Shaka XYZ. And Shaka is good at Udu. I am not. So that is where the balance is.
The function.
And people in the diaspora and the community try to, boy, do it look Shaka when you build a thing, Shaka on top, so and you don't do that. And I like, Shaka, is that one, boy?
Yeah.
we grow Olori Abaye Agboni. She's here, Mama. Welcome.
Obato.
I know it's late in Nigeria, Mama. However, your son is on, so you will watch. You just have about 25 minutes.
And I just want to add to what Yeye was saying. Everybody has a role and a function. We'll take it back to, when Olodumare sent Ogun. He sent Oshosi. He sent Obatala. He sent Orumila. And he sent Ishu. And he gave them roles and functions.
Yes.
He said to Ishu, your function is to go on errands. He said to Ogun, your function is to make the skeleton frame, to put the bone, the skeleton together. Oshosi, you're the one, the architect. You're to draw. He said, Obatala, you is to take the clay that Eshu went and get, the errand, and mold it. And then he said to Orumila, he said, you're the one that they will come to you for advice to ensure that this task will be a good one and it will be successful. So Ogun had his role and function.
Yes.
Eshu had his role and function. Obatala had his role and function. Orumila had his role and function, and Oshosi had a role and function. Why can't we not, how to put it, how can we not exemplify? Why can't we not follow? You can't sing like me.
That is true. I wouldn't sing.
So then if I come to your shrine, let the person who can sing, let me tell you something, yeah?
Correct, I can't draw.
As a person, I just say, people say embarrassing. If I go to a shrine and they're singing, and I find they're singing off key, I drop my keys on the floor.
Yeah, see that? Oh, God, he go.
Because it means find your key. Their people has different roles and functions. IFA teaches us we are all doing what we are destined to do. Yes. We are following our predestined path. Your part can't be my part can't be your part. Sure. Listen to me. I just talk. They say Obaluaye priests are very hot-headed, but he is not hot-headed. No. But at the end of the day, I mean well. I mean well.
I want to see the greatness of the
community. I want to see the greatness of our community. I will die for my tradition. How many people will stand up and say, listen to me, I find too much people, we are being weighed down in this tradition with too much eleke on my neck. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to wear it, you know. But I think we are getting carried away with this. We are getting carried away with this. We are getting carried away with the titles. We are getting carried away with the crowns. We are getting carried away. We are not understanding our real purpose here. And who willing to drop all these big things like in the Baptist faith? When time to walk, take off apron if it keep in your back. Take off the head tie. Take off the gown if it keep in your back and work for God. Why it is in the Orisha tradition, when you go to a prayers, you see, because you own a title or a position, you sit down right through. You can't sing. You can't sing because you name me Iya. The word Iya is mother, so you have to attend to the needs of that temple in case of something happening. You have to be able to assist. So you come in the temple because you are here for my next shrine. You see me? Me don't meddle with people and the thing now. So you're not going to make no valuable contribution. What you trying to do to this tradition? You are keeping back this tradition development. And there's no room here for you. If you want to be in the tradition, you have to expect to do the things according to the tradition.
That's a fact.
Some people, you want to join the tradition, I don't want to cut my hair. What are you telling me? You want to be initiated, but you don't want to shave your head off. If you're to join Islam, you have to conform to Islam. You want to be a Hindu, they will shave your head when they go to Hinduism. There is no shortcut. Where it is in our tradition, there's always want to have a shortcut.
True. So true.
It's always, you see me, find out now. Find out if I had to cut my hair. But it's the tradition.
It is your rules to follow.
It is rebirth. That is what it signifies. It signifies that we are being reborn. And if that is our system and that is our operation, why play mass and free powder? So there are some people who in the tradition don't really need to be in it. Plain. People that jump up and say, IFA is for everybody. I don't think IFA is for everybody. Let me tell you why I say that.
Olori Abayo Boni says here, Iromole is your strength.
Ashe. Adupueo, yeah. Let me tell you why I say that. IFA even teaches that we are all doing what we are destined to do. We are following our predestined path. I remember that divination was cast in front of a Babalawo. And the Babalawo told that devotee that they should go and make sacrifice to their Hindu gods, gods that their family serves.
Yes.
The person asked the Babalawo, so I can't be an Ifa. Ifa say no. You have to go and embrace.
Truth.
Your ancestry is what will bring you to prosperity and light. Why if I didn't tell that person, come? You need to initiate to Shango, you need to initiate to this, you need to initiate to Ifa.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth.
People have to be very careful. There are many African traditions in the world. Ifa is not the only one, but yet Ifa is part of all of them.
The communication with
that's the network. And this is what people getting tired of putting Trinidad and saying Ifa is different to Orisha. Whatever Orisha speak is Ifa.
Correct. Yes.
If Orisha manifests in your shrine and say, love everybody, that's Ifa.
Yes.
So what you telling me is a separation, and I think what happened is that there's a Ifa community in Trinidad, quote unquote. Some of them always feel as though Ifa is different to Orisha. They make it look as though it's a complete different religion.
Yes, they do. Yes.
From Orisha, We are Orisha devotees. That's who we are.
Proud too.
But whenever we need guidance from Olodumare, we go to the system. That system is Ifa. Whether you use Erendologu, whether you use Opele, Ikin Ifa, Obi, whether you use a glass of water, a glass, a crystal box, all these are part and parcel of Ifa.
Ifa is the father of all, Olori. My mother says here, she says, Ifa is the father of all.
All Orisha
all
was initiated in Ifa except our sign.
Because it's wisdom. Ifa is wisdom of Olodumare guiding the universe in through a form we call decoded messages or do.
I just tell them, just like how the Bible is the guidance for Christianity, that is Ifa.
No, I saw something the other day, right? And I had to touch on it fast because I see the time running. Let me tell you something, and we have 100 and something people in the live. I want you to know this, right? Gopal luck is not Sipal luck. And I would say why I say this. I want to trouble, but I want to mash the little eggs carefully. There are some elders of old who were spiritual Baptists, hold on to Christianity, it worked for them. And I will always go by some things my elders of old used to taught me. Those that know it, do well, and do it not shall be bitten by many stripes. The elders of old them didn't know better. Some of them. So they say, it worked for them and they had to conform because that's what their grandmothers meet. They meet that and society. We're in an age now where knowledge, it's easy to get that. Social media, connection with Yoruba land. The link is already being made, and if it's only a fool will stay in the dirt floor. I want to say dirt floor, treading lightly, because everybody want to keep the parley, no problem with that. But let me tell you something. We're in a new era. Use the earth. You think if we was to go back in the days of old, you will survive now?
Hey. Hey.
If we is to go back in the days of old,
Riding donkey.
would you? Most of them, I from the old school, and I from the old school, and I want to have a thing, and I want to think, go back, I challenging all you, go back to the old school.
Look at it there. From Nigeria. It directs everyone to the right path. You can't get initiated without findings. This finding is through IFA. It may be through Opele or
Same thing. You understand?
It is.
And we not. This is not technology. We're not speaking with someone quite in Nigeria and Ibadan right now.
Yes. Right? Let me tell you something, yeah? Go back to the old school, all right? Go back to the old school, or you take off the electricity from your house.
Take out the AC.
Take off your AC from your home.
Oh God, no, don't do
Take
that.
off technology. You don't have no Facebook, no internet, no WhatsApp, no nothing.
No cell phone.
No telephone.
No.
Take a drum and start to knock it like the village from over so hear you and interpret that what they're telling you. I am challenging all those who old school.
I just want to add something to what Baba's in there. We at all times truly need to be humble, you know, because in what he is in there, do we really understand Olodumare in the fullness of Olodumare? The wisdom of Olodumare comes through every single person.
Exactly.
So a person would have the knowledge to create a headset. A person would have the knowledge to put down tiles. A person would have the knowledge to create a stethoscope. So all of these things is the wisdom of Olodumare manifesting through us human beings. So every upgrade, it is the work of Ogun.
Say it again.
Every upgrade
is
the work of, yes, and it's 100% facts. Because how many of us could sit where we sit and know how many grains of sand is upon this earth here?
Wow.
It's
No one.
none of us.
No one.
How many of us could truly say we know the amount of human beings that are on this earth here?
No one.
Yes, maybe they could average, but that is not the total. Only Olodumare knows this. So we are always trying to find out the true messages of Olodumare every single year. If there's 1,680 verses of Ifa in 256 Odu Ifa, how many of us in our lifetime could tap in to all of this information? Each of us will have a piece. You will have a piece. You will have a piece.
Exactly.
All of us will have a piece.
And Baba Shaka, I want to add to what you're saying too, because no one Orisha can do all functions of all Orisha. No one, everyone has a role.
Exactly.
Everyone has a role.
Everybody have their own
So
function.
I know we have 10 minutes, right? We have about 7 minutes before we end it off. How can we find change? How can we find a sense of direction in our diaspora? I'm getting a phone call here. Aborabo yabo shishe. Caller. Caller. Yes, caller. Caller. Topic nice.
Yes.
I would like to just add something briefly, right? You know, everyone has a destiny. Everyone has their own Ori. Everyone has their own path to walk. Everyone have a background. Everyone has a story that could help somebody, that could motivate somebody, that could teach somebody something. But my thing is, when we hear so many stories and everything like that, why must we judge somebody because we are not perfect? Every one of us have flaws. Every one of us have a bad attitude.
No, it have the perfect ones.
Oh gosh, well, Baba, well, okay, well, the perfect ones. Okay,
the perfect ones, they wrap their hair in a perfect way. They don't touch flaws, and then you know.
So the change must begin with us.
The change must begin with us. The change must. I can make a difference. Baba can make a. Well, Baba makes a difference. Baba, we all make a difference in our own way. Baba is just very vocal with it, right? Me, I work behind closed doors, right? But we all have a difference. The change, Baba, Allah to me share that you are making is having this program. You made the difference by playing that, sticking in a flash drive, and you made that change. This change started with you because we are here now on this day at this time and hour to be able to have this dialogue.
Exactly.
So the change started with you. The change started with Baba Shaka because he's here with you on every program.
There's always a witness.
Exactly. And so everybody have a change to make, right? The change that we all can make is, it starts with us. And while we may have, I just want to just stick this into, while we may have our Uluo or Ianifa or Babalawo from Nigeria and everything, please keep in mind that we cannot just throw away what our ancestors did in Trinidad and Tobago to uphold this tradition. Right? Yes, there may be something about the past and things that that some people cannot get away from, right? Because that is what kept them, but they do understand that the Orisha makes a difference. We all have a input in this, but please, we cannot disrespect our ancestors that has gone. That is just my 2 cents that I would like to stick in.
You know, as Orisha was saying, he was going to add to what can we do for that change? And Yeye said, start with us. Yeye also agreed, start with us. King Shaka also said, start with us. But I just want to say something, right? When you was a child, you speak as a child. You act, you behave as a child. When you become a man, you put away all childish things. That not change? That not change? Let me tell you something. When we didn't know better, we were saying, oh, we St. Michael. When we didn't know better, we didn't have the knowledge we had today, we were saying Shango, St. Barbara, and St. John. And the Virgin Mary and Saint Philomene and Saint Francis Yemanja. We didn't know better. But because of knowledge and connection with Yoruba land and we understanding how it came about, because of slavery, we had to synchronize. Our ancestors had to use a method to save our culture.
Otherwise it was brutal.
It was brutal. So you could imagine in that era, they had to put, you know what the ancestors did? They take iron, different things that is belonging to Ogun, all things that belong to the hour, we call it the secret of that Orisha, and they plant it in the earth. That's how we get stool. That's how we just use stool now in the yard. They put the different things that belong to the Orisha in the hole, and they put a platform and they put a statue of St. Michael. on top of it, and they say, when the slave master come in and they see them worshiping the way, they'll stop and say, in the honor of St. Michael, our Father, who art in heaven, holy be thy name, thy kingdom. You feel the praying to St. Michael there? It's Ogun they're praying to. They had to use that as a camouflage. And when the slave master gone, they start to say, they start to praise the ancestors of the way they're supposed to.
You don't need to do that.
We're no longer under slavery. This is why change is important. For us to develop and go up, we have to move that. That have to be aware. Listen to me. Listen to me. Somebody asked me the other day. They say God is universal, God is omnipotent, everything right, no problem. But ask a Chinese man to show them the God. The God looking just like them. You see all the statues looking just like them. Everything that they worship looking like them. You ask a Hindu, show me your God. Show me where you worship. Everything that they worship resemble them.
Yeah.
Ask an African, he's the only race confused. A blonde here, this, a blonde, this, a saying this, a saying that. Let me tell you something, yeah? If your ancestors, listen, I get emotional when I talk this thing. Let me tell you something, yeah? When I didn't know better, I didn't know better. You see, now I know,
We do better.
that I do better. You understand? For us to evolve and not be confused and make the government of Trinidad and Tobago confused, we have to set apart and say, this is what we practice. This is what Orisha is. But when you go and telling the young people, them, let me tell you something, some of the spiritual Baptist people in Trinidad and Tobago, they are ashamed to really come up with the truth and they know the truth. And I know half of them know the truth. They know that Ogun is not St. Michael. Right? But they're doing it because they know why? To keep their
accepted.
Congregation.
And to be accepted.
Slavery still exists, you know. Spiritual slavery still exists. Free or not to marry people. Free Orisha children. Because you have a price to pay. Because when that judgment comes and you ain't teach them the right thing and they're telling them St. Michael is Ogun, start be your portion because you know why? You want to keep quantity and don't have quality. Right? You want to keep the offering basket flowing. So you don't want the members to leave because they're going to say, but mommy, mother, you were teaching me this all the time, now all of a sudden you're telling me this is not so. Listen, it took me a while before my spiritual children and them, I took for them to accept. But I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I fight the fight.
So we just out of time. I know it was a nice show. We really out of time. I reach the borderline right now. But we reach the borderline. But we will have more conversation. IFA Orisha Way of Life is here to stay. As long as our people who is there give us the support and give us the blessings. The show was very powerful as usual. We always have a powerful show. Baba Arola Fakayode, I know if a game and next hour, he fire up this place. But
don't worry.
May we all be blessed. May we all serve the Orisha. May we always guide us respect, humility and patience. Allah Tumishe, King Shaka, Arola Fakayode. Iya Omi. Iya same thing.
Iya Omi.
What you say?
Omi. Yes.
So see you guys next week. IFA Orisha Way of Life. You guys be blessed, be safe, and may we always give thanks and praise to our ancestors. Allah Tumishe. See you guys next week. Folks, we'll be going straight over from 10 p.m. to the Wayne Johnson broadcast live from the US of A VOP program. So stand by for that. We making that switch right about now.